Royal Collection Trust is celebrating Her Majesty the Queen's 90th birthday by staging the special exhibition Fashioning a Reign, 90 Years of Style from the Queen's Wardrobe, which will be held at the Queen's three official residences, the Palace of Holyrood House, Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle. Through the display of fashionable dress, the exhibitions chart memorable occasions in the Queen's life and our national history from childhood to the present day. Visitors here to the Palace of Holyrood House will see the largest display of Her Majesty the Queen's clothes and millinery ever to be shown in Scotland. And this includes outfits worn for state visits and other occasions such as tours, but also outfits worn for memorable occasions here in Scotland, including the visit of Pope Benedict in 2010. Also more off-duty outfits such as tartan skirts and tweed jackets worn for informal off-duty moments at the Queen's private residence here in Scotland, Balmoral Castle. Her Majesty the Queen's support of British design is a very important theme that we see throughout the exhibition, and it includes examples made by all the different designers who have worked for the Queen from the 1940s right up to the present day. The exhibition illustrates the work of the various different couturiers who have been patronised by the Queen throughout her reign, and these include some of the most famous names in British fashion, particularly from the early part of her reign. Names such as Norman Hartnell, the famous British couturier, whose signature styles formed such a fundamental part of the Queen's wardrobe. And we see this in the wonderful crinoline state evening gowns on display here, which are also referenced in the works on paper, the fashion sketches that we're also showing. And so it gives visitors the opportunity to really understand the design process and the relationship between the Queen and her designers. One of the key designers from the Queen's early reign was Hardy Amies. He trained as a tailor, and these skills are very evident in the work that he carried out for the Queen, most often seen in daywear designed for her, but also revealed in the beautiful evening dresses that he created for her. These have a wonderful restrained elegance, and they're deceptively simple, and yet when one looks closely at the dresses, such as this beautiful velvet evening dress, we can see the cut and construction clearly, and yet the overall effect is incredibly elegant. The exhibition references pieces from Queen Victoria's reign, which is when tartan really became fashionable and in fact at the forefront of royal fashion at this time in the mid-19th century. But we also look at pieces from the Queen's own wardrobe, both formal and informal, a tartan skirt made of the famous Balmoral tartan, which is personal to the sovereign and only worn by members of the royal family, and also a beautiful evening dress worn for the Gillies Ball. And the dress is a wonderful Norman Hartnell design. It's in beautiful oyster-coloured Duchess satin, embroidered with crystals and diamante, which would have sparkled as the Queen danced. And the dress is worn with a Royal Stuart tartan sash, which is one of the royal tartans worn by members of the royal family. So there are numerous outfits on display which have a close association with Edinburgh and also with the Palace of Holyrood House itself. And these include Her Majesty the Queen's own mantle, hat and insignia of the Order of the Thistle, the most important order of chivalry in Scotland, of which the Queen is sovereign head. And she wears her mantle and insignia for example, services of installations of new knights of the order, which are held here at St Giles Cathedral. And the mantle was made for her by Eden Ravenscroft, who are the court makers of ceremonial dress for the royal family. And the insignia is made of gold and enamel and consists of a chain of a rue and also thistles, and suspended from that collar is the badge of the order, which depicts St Andrew with his cross of martyrdom. Amongst the outfits worn by the Queen here in Scotland, and particularly here in Edinburgh, is an outfit which she wore for the wedding of her eldest granddaughter, Miss Zara Phillips. And this is a coat and dress which was designed by Stuart Parvin, a designer who was trained here at Edinburgh College of Art and continues to work for the Queen today, with a beautiful coordinating fine straw and feather hat, which was made by the milliner Rachel Trevor Morgan, who again continues to work for Her Majesty now. Included amongst the highlights of the exhibition, I would say, are two very rare pieces from the Queen's childhood and the childhood of her younger sister, Princess Margaret. And these are two charming pink woolen coats in what we call the princess line, flared from the waist. And these were worn by the two princesses from about 1934. And they wore them on numerous occasions. And the reason that they survive, being rare survivals from the childhood clothing of the Queen, is that they're more formal pieces, worn with beautiful little bonnets of straw decorated with chiffon or silk flowers. And they're formal pieces which would have been very carefully preserved and looked after because they were worn for public events. Another highlight of the exhibition would be the beautiful crinoline dress designed by Norman Hartnell for the Queen to wear here in Edinburgh when she received the King of Norway on a state visit in 1962. For the Queen's first state visit as sovereign to the United States of America in 1957, she took a wonderful wardrobe of glamorous clothes, and included amongst them was this fantastic evening dress with a peplum, which is actually entirely made of wonderful, very soft lace, combined with silk chiffon in this beautiful pale green. And again, this is another example of Hartnell's wonderful skill at combining colours and embroideries. And each area of the lace is re-embroidered with sequins, pearls, beads and diamante, overall creating a very glittering effect. An unusual outfit included in the exhibition, but designed by Norman Hartnell, is Her Majesty the Queen's outfit, which she wore to the wedding of her sister, Princess Margaret, at Westminster Abbey in 1960. And this is quite an unusual outfit. It's very much fashionable for the time. It has a little bolero jacket made of beautiful guipure lace and a matching silk taffeta dress, again embroidered in this wonderful lace. And it's unusual because it was the last occasion on which all the senior female members of the royal family wore long dress for a daytime official engagement. So it really marks a turning point in contemporary royal fashion. Another highlight of the exhibition would be a beautiful ruby, gold and diamond brooch which Her Majesty the Queen wears regularly today, and this was designed by Andrew Grima in the mid-1960s and was a present from the Duke of Edinburgh to the Queen. Fashioning Array 90 Years of Style from the Queen's Wardrobe will be held here at the Palace of Holyrood House from the 21st of April until the 16th of October, and tickets can be booked online at www.royalcollection.org.uk.